Hey guys, and welcome to the Tech Life. This is Jay. I wanted to talk a little bit more about Full Sail University. I mentioned in the first video that I put up there, the introductory video for myself there, that I was a student at Full Sail University. And the reason why I'm doing this video now is I have about a little less than a year left in there. So I wanted to talk about my experiences of attending Full Sail University online and what it's been like to be a student for the school. So I want to preface this by saying this is not a paid promotion. I'm not getting paid. I'm not getting asked to do anything like this. This is just me giving you a very genuine feeling about what it was like to be a student at Full Sail University. So the first thing I want to say about Full Sail University is it is not your typical school. Full Sail University is a college that is based off of the arts. They specialize in technology, film, music production, web design and development, sports casting, writing, any of the creative arts. So they specialize in those areas. And Full Sail University actually started off as a film school where they taught people how to work in the movies with cinematography, and then it expanded from there. It's not a traditional school. They're not traditional 4 years. Most of the degrees are completed in about 2.5 years. It's in a very accelerated program. Each course takes about a month. I believe that they are an accredited university, so they, the only problem with Full Sail is their credits genuinely don't transfer to other schools outside. It's kind of more of a specialty school, and I kind of put them along the lines with like, well, I'm in Connecticut, so like Lincoln Tech and Porter and Chester Institute, things like that, where you're going for more of a professional industry, but you do get the bachelor's degree because they put in certain requirements like certain academic classes that the state of Florida requires. The school is based down in Winter Park, Florida, and they do have a full campus that is built like a movie studio, a web design studio. It has a built-in music studio, and within the recent, I believe, 5 years, in the past 5 years, they've been getting more into gaming technology with the introduction of their esports arena for gaming competitions. So it's moving in the general direction of where technology is heading. So would I recommend Full Sail University? I want to put that question up there first for you to think about what I'm saying. Um, I'm going to tell you now that Full Sail University is not your typical college. Um, I'm not going to say it's a bad college. I'm not going to say it's an absolutely amazing experience because it's different for everybody on there. I will say that for myself, the experience has been great. Um, I've been exposed firsthand to a lot of brand new technologies, and to a degree of learning that has been able to help me get into a job in the field a lot sooner than if I was to take the traditional college route and going into a 4 year university and then 2 or 3 years after that and into specialty. So Full Sail does offer that, and then being able to have many different contacts within the industry to be able to help you get your foot in the door. Everything that they do from start to finish in your degree is based on you getting into a career, which is why I say that with Full Sail University, I kind of put them along those lines of the specialty trade schools rather than the universities, and that's my own opinion with it. Um, a lot of people may argue and say, well, no, they chime themselves to be out like University of Central Florida or UConn. It's like, I don't feel that this college is along those lines, and it's because of the timeline that you have in the college, and then the fact that From day one, they are setting you up to be able to move into the career as soon as you graduate from the school. So, um, they work your career in steps. So, I'll talk more specifically about the web design and development career at this point. So, we started a lot to begin with, um, learning about the basics of problem solving, and that's, it's the basis of all programming. First, you define your problem that you have, and then you start to design solutions using the knowledge that you have in tech. And that knowledge in tech could be anything from building a device that will solve the problem or writing a program that will solve the problem. So, to give you an example, um, we want to be able to keep records in a hospital for the patients there. So that's the definition of the problem. And the solution is to build a system in which you can input the data um, about patient records and information about anything that has gone on in the hospital or anything prior to the hospital, and then storing that information on a database so that it can be recalled later. And this way, you'll be able to have information on the patient. So that just kind of gives you a very bare knuckles idea um, of problem solving, problem definition, and problem solving. From there, we learned our base language, and the first language we learned was C sharp. And the reason why we learned that is because it is what's called a strongly typed object oriented programming language. And I'll talk about more about C sharp and the .NET frameworks as we go on with more of these videos. And um, I kind of want to do some like hands-on videos and some lecture videos and all of that. But let's go back into what we were talking about with Full Sail University and how this. So we started off with our base programming language, which was going to be C sharp, and the reason being is you wanted to learn how to properly type out commands, properly declare variables, and again, if you don't understand what I'm talking about, do not don't get turned off by this because it's all stuff that we will talk about later on. I promise. Okay, so from there we moved on into the realm of application development. So actually taking a problem and trying to create a solution for it using what we learned about writing programs in C sharp. And we did that through a set of classes of web development, like Web Development 1 and Web Development 2. And we actually learned how to do what was called a console program, which is a program that runs in the terminal on your PC. From there, we moved forward into mobile applications because that is becoming a major facet now in web development. It used to be something where it was completely split, but now we're seeing more and more that web and application developers that are getting into the field now are being asked to not only learn how to develop applications for websites or web applications or software, but they're also being asked to develop these applications in a way that not only can they run on your laptops or desktop computers, but they can also run on your mobile devices. And that's because more and more people today do more of their work off of their iDevices or their tablets or Android devices. So you want to be able to bridge that gap between using the computer at home and using your mobile devices. From there, we started working more into the user interface and user design aspects of it. So UI and UX, that's what you're actually working with. That's the content that you're reading on the page, the buttons that you're pressing that are going to activate the actions that you're going to do. So that's the next step that we went to. And as we move forward into the final legs of the class, it's bringing it all together. How do we store the information by using databases and backend language? And then how do you finally bring all that together? And so that's where I'm actually going into right now, where the assignments now are literally going to be design an application for this using this technology. Okay, so that was a lot that I dropped in on you guys on that, and for the terminology there, like I said, if you're not really sure about it, you're not want to understand what I was talking about, don't worry about that yet. Just understand that those are the facets of what is going on in that degree, and I'll be talking more about .NET and about C Sharp because that's my specialty and that's what I want to do with this channel is to be able to showcase that to you guys, and so we'll move forward from there. Now, do I recommend Full Sail University to people? I'm gonna say that depends. Full Sail University is very self-driven. Your classes last about a month. You get all of your assignments at the beginning of each week, and you have to utilize time management to be able to make sure that you get those assignments in on time. For some people, it could be a walk in the park. If you're not working, if you're a young student and you're doing this, it could be a very very easy process to go through. You may get your work done sooner than later, or you just may have a general knack for this stuff and it makes it easy for you. For people who have a job to work, it may become a little bit more difficult. And that's because each week the assignments kind of equate down to about 2 to 3 weeks worth of work that are due within about a week. I'm being kind of generous with that, and it depends on your skill level for how you go about with that. So with Full Sail University, the amount of work that you get could range anywhere between 25 to 40 hours worth of work outside of the classroom lectures and the videos that you are required to watch for the learning material. So that's why I say that it depends on the person, and why I would say I recommend for it. So for an average person who wants to get into web development, who wants to have the degree in the background, would I recommend it? Yeah, I would. It's a fast-paced course. You do get the bachelor's degree off of it. You do get a very good in-depth knowledge of the web design and development program and the web design field. So you will get that wealth of knowledge. It's very very fast-paced, and they can help you get yourself within about I would say close to 3 years into getting you in a job, or even sooner. So what's some of the things that would make going through Full Sail even easier? Well, the first thing I'm going to say is if you're a young student and you've just gotten out of high school and you're going into college, one of the things that would make it easier is to make sure that you start learning to schedule time to do the work. Don't try to put it off. Don't look at it that this is an online school, and so you can kind of get away with putting assignments back on the back burner, and I'll do it later on, because the assignments are intense. It doesn't matter what field you're in. There's no such thing as an easy field to get an easy bachelor's degree at Full Sail University. It's very very intensive, and it's not just the assignments that you're doing for a normal instructor. The instructors at Full Sail University are professionals that have worked in the field, so they understand what everybody is looking for out there. They understand what a lot of employers want to see out of. Again, in my field as a developer, they know what they want to see from developers that are coming in the field. So you'll be graded on that. You're not graded on what the correct answer in the textbook is. When they look at your programs and the web applications that you're building, the mobile applications you're building, or anything along those lines, they're looking at it from the standard of what the industry is asking for today. That's where you're getting your grade from. So it's not a traditional college in that standpoint. If you are an older student who has already been established, you're just looking to change careers, but you have a family, if you really want to get into Full Sail University and do this, talk with your family first. Establish that you're going to need the support because this school and the assignments that you will do will detract from the time that you get to spend with your family. You will be able to spend time with your family. You will be able to enjoy your life, and you can work while you're doing this, but it will be a little bit more difficult. And so I would say the best recommendation is sit down with your family and let them know that you want to go into the school, that you want to get your degree, and that it's going to be a little bit of a sacrifice, but the rewards on the other end of it are going to be great. And as long as you have your family on board on that, it's going to make it that much easier to be able to accomplish your goal. Okay. When it comes down to the technology requirements, what do you need to get through Full Sail University? Well, here's the thing about Full Sail University that's different among other colleges out there. And I think there might be one or two other online colleges that do this, but Full Sail kind of set the mark for this one. And that's they have a program called Project Launchbox. Project Launchbox is Full Sail's way of getting the industry standard entry level technology to the student. Okay, I'm going to rephrase that a little bit. They're not giving it to you. It's going to be part of your financial aid package. But they understand that if they say you have to write this program on this computer, they're not going to expect you to have to go out and find the computer that is going to be perfectly spec'd for what you need. Full Sail University gets that technology together and they get it to you. Your first couple of months that you're with Full Sail, they start you off with an iPad because the most that you're going to have to deal with is reading some articles, looking up things online, maybe having something to type something on, and they understand most people probably have a base level computer. So the iPad is just going to be there to kind of help you with a little bit of extension of technology, kind of get your hands wet, and also when you're into your web design and development and also into mobile, it kind of gives you a chance to use the technology before you start getting into the programming levels of it. Now, your next step from that, about 4 months into it, that's when you get your actual Project Launchbox. For web design and development, it was a MacBook Pro computer and the adapters that you would need for it. And then they have some online-based software that you have access to, like the Adobe Creation Suite and Microsoft Office. That Project Launchbox varies from program to program. Like if you're into game design and development, you get a PC-based computer because those tend to be a little bit better when it comes to developing games than the MacBook, and the MacBook can also be very basic in it. And it's actually my opinion that I'm going to put in here that when they do web design and development, I really hope that someone from Full Sail sees this at some point. And I would say the best recommendation at that point is to set people up with a Windows PC. And that's because if you guys want to do C# and .NET, the best thing to do is to learn things like Entity Framework and stuff like that. And you would need a Windows PC in order to actually be able to get the most out of that. So the MacBook Pro is great for developers, but I think for the language that they chose and how they want to do things, I actually think that the Windows PC probably would have been better. But Project Launchbox shows that Full Sail understands the technology that is needed to succeed, and they get it to the student so that you are learning with that. You have experience with the technology before you actually get into the field, instead of just all book work. So there you have it. That's my little rundown of how things are with Full Sail University. And as far as my experience goes, it has been a great ride through there. It's been frustrating at times, but then again, when you're a new developer and you're learning a new language, I'm going to equate that to learning a foreign language. You don't understand all the nuances of it at first, but as you do it, it becomes easier. It becomes almost second nature. And things will always change about it. So you're always going to have that new opportunity to learn. It's also been very rewarding because when you actually build those programs, you get it up and going, everything is working great, there's no bugs, there's no errors. It's the greatest feeling in the world to see that you were able to create something huge like that. So with that, I'm going to leave this. If you're someone who is great at time management, you're looking to boost your tech skill, you want to have that degree attached to it, and you're looking to spend some time into learning about the programs, I would recommend Full Sail for that educational background. If you think that it may be too expensive, maybe look in some other directions. I know the Full Sail program is not the cheap program out there. It's also not a boot camp, so there's some differences back and forth there. But as far as what I think about Full Sail, I actually think that it is a good program. The instructors there are top notch. They know what they're talking about with the industry, and they are a great way to get your foot forward in all of it. So that's my opinions of Full Sail University. I hope you enjoyed this video. Hit the like and subscribe button down there for more content. Please comment down below if you've been a student at Full Sail. Let me know what your experiences were. If you have any questions, feel free to send them in the comments below down there. I hope that you enjoyed this video. Also, send me any comments about any kind of content that you would like to see in the future. Thank you very much, guys. Thank you for spending this time with me. Have yourselves a great day.